right, hello my friends, welcome back. So check it out. In this video, we're going to introduce Visual Studio Code, the IDE that we're going to be using for coding. So now maybe some of you are asking, what the heck is an IDE? I can think of a few different things it might be so that we're all on the same page. Why don't we define it as Integrated Development Environment? Okay, so an IDE, Integrated Development Environment, is just a software tool that's commonly used in software development processes. But the purpose of an IDE is to facilitate and expedite the software development process. So in short, IDEs are tools that make coding easier for us. They offer as many features such as debugging, automatic code completion, and running or executing written code. Some of the more popular IDEs include Visual Studio Code, IntelliJ IDEA, Eclipse, PyCharm, Xcode, and Android Studio. So among web developers, Visual Studio Code, which is still the most popular, that's going to be our choice. And you'll see why soon. Now, let's just start the installation process. If you go ahead and type VS Code into the search engine of your choice, you're going to see the official documentation page. You'll see here on the left as well of the screen that there are different installation options depending on the operating system that you're using. Although the interface designs vary for each operating system, it's really not a problem because these are just minor style differences. Now, I've installed it on my computer before, so once you complete your installation, you can go ahead and open VS Code, and you'll naturally be greeted with a screen like this one that you see. Now, if you've completed the installation, you'll see a screen like this as well. Now, as we're working together, there are just a few settings that we need to make in here first. We need to add extensions to VS Code that will make our development a whole lot easier. These extensions may vary depending on the technology used, so just be aware. So Visual Studio Code has a structure that supports many languages. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We were talking about extensions, so where do we actually add the extensions? Well, let me show you. We'll do it from the icon over here that you see to the left. All right, my friends, so just click on it. And here you see a search section appears where you can install the extension that you want. Let's go ahead and install the extensions that we'll need throughout our course. So I'm going to start with Prettier. I'll click on the top one. What is this going to do, you ask? Well, Prettier actually just helps us by colorizing the code that we write, making it easier to debug and read on the page. It's actually kind of difficult to understand code written in the same color on a black background. Believe me, once you make that mistake once, you'll never do that again. Anyway, I don't speak from experience. This extension makes the code more understandable, basically. Since this extension is already installed for me, that's why it says uninstall here. But for you, it should say install. And then by clicking on install, it's going to complete the installation process. And yeah, you're not going to need to do anything else. So let's set this as the default code formatter. And for this, let's click on the gear icon at the bottom left and go to the settings section. Okay, so when you type default formatter into the search section here, you can see it comes up right away. Now, it's already selected for me, of course, but if something's selected for you, just select Prettier right now. Okay, so we got to make another setting. Let's type Format on Save here. And make sure the checkbox at the top is selected. So now we can set up automatic saving, which I highly recommend. We can save our code in a couple of different ways, manually or automatically, every time that we write that code. If you are worried about forgetting to save the code that you've written, you can always choose the On Focus Change option. What this does is saves the written code automatically every time you write it. So that's why what you'll see me do is, well, I'm just going to keep it as On Focus Change for now. And we can change this later. Now let's type tab size into the search section. So this is where we adjust the condition of the code lines per line. You can actually make this setting larger or smaller. It's entirely up to you, whatever easiest for you to understand. But why is this setting here? Because this space is very important for certain languages. For example, Python. Now, it's not necessarily relevant to us right now, but I just mention it so that you know that it exists. Okay, that's all. So, why did we actually have to make these and some of these other settings? Because you're going to be starting to write code for the very first time, and I want the appearance of your screen to be as similar to mine as possible. Okay, this will prevent any confusion. Why does that look different from? This way we'll be able to focus on what we're doing. All right, so we've completed the operations that we're going to do with Prettier. Let's move on to another extension. OneMonokai. So OneMonokai is a really popular color theme, mostly used in software development environments. This color theme is designed to make the coding process a lot more pleasant and readable. And as you can see here, it creates different colors for each element with different features to increase code readability. Now just click on the Install button to complete the installation process. You want to click again on the bottom icon. So the appearance here might be a little different for you. If so, it doesn't matter that much. But the setting that you need to find is called Themes. So click on the Color Theme option here. And as you can see, options are displayed. So let's just click on the Dark Modern option, see what happens. And there you can see the background color of the VS Code screen has changed. So OneMonokai also offers us color options in the general theme change. So I want to change the theme again. Okay, great. Now, you can go ahead and use any color that you want. I just prefer the OneMonokai color. Looks nicer to me, and that's all. Okay, let's just go ahead and make one more adjustment, and we'll go back to the theme section for that. Now, here there's something called File Icon Theme. And this allows us to create icons at the very beginning of the files we create in the applications. Now, when I started, I used to use the material icon theme, but now you don't even need to add a new extension. So let's just select the option that says SETI Visual Studio Code here. See, this way now, we've installed the extensions that we'll need in the future as well as the ones that we'll get started with. So to sum up all this, these extensions actually won't change the code that we write. They're just tools that we've installed to make our screen a lot more, well, understandable, easier to read, more pleasant. Because you're going to be spending a while looking at your screen. But again, when you want to, you can always use different extensions and adjust things to your benefit. But at first, we're going to try to use everything just about as similar as we can, okay? So we're going to wrap it up here. Next time, though, when we come back, we're going to create our first web page. Yeah. So I'll see you in the next video.